Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aries in mid-November 2019. Hello, Aries. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Had a card fall to the floor. Let's see what it is. I haven't called for anything, but I will read it. Five of Wands. No! Traditionally a card of conflict and bitter arguments or petty arguments. Boo. That might be going on, but what I'm really drawn to is like the fact that something's going on in the dark here. It might be a little bit of a sneaky behavior or maybe some misdeeds or lies being sown, like active lies or active, I don't want to say deception, but this feels like gossip also, something like that. Where you are, how involved you are in this energy, I don't know, but it's awfully shady and I don't like it, so boo. All right, now that that's over with, hi Aries, how are you doing? How's everything in your life? Hopefully it's going well. Aries, happy Thanksgiving if you are here in the States celebrating, or wherever you are in the world if you celebrate the holiday. I hope you have an amazing turkey day. I will be going live on the channel on the Monday of Thanksgiving week, November 25th. If you want to catch me, look out for the announcements I'm going to put up on the community page to know exactly what time that day I'm going to go live with you guys. And if you have a question, if you want to stop by and hang out or just, you know, witness me being a buffoon. No, I'm not a buffoon. Take that back. I'm not a buffoon, but I am kind of awkward. So if you want to come along and witness me being awkward in front of all of you guys with my terrible laptop quality, totally come on by. I would love to see you. All right, guys. Shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there, Aries. I will shuffle now on camera for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all your cards are out and you're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is down in the description box if you want to jump ahead. You can also find the information you need to get a personal reading with me down in the description box. If you have a question before you place an order, feel free to ask me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can, okay? Aries, let's get into it, okay? Now my hands are kind of getting tired. And I didn't shuffle that long for you, but my hands feel kind of achy, so maybe that's for some of you. Got achy hands? You got arthritis in your hands? Hopefully not. Anyway, let's get your outcome. Please show me Aries' outcome in mid-November 2019. Outcome for Aries in mid-November 2019. Please show me. Okay. Quick and easy. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. All right. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and flip everything that came face down. Okay. And I can't sit here and nitpick it, so we gotta get, I think it looks good. Looks good from mirror. Looks good from the camera as well. Let's get into it. Pardon me. Please show me where Aries is. Thank you. I just did Cancer, so I almost called you Cancer. Please show me where Aries is in mid-November 2019. Please show me Aries in mid-November 2019. Please show me. Okay, wow. Wouldn't really let me go past that, but okay. Perfect. All right, Aries, coming into mid-November, you come in with the King of Pentacles. Earth sign energy, Cancer. Oh, my goddess, I can't. Okay, I've slipped the tongue twice on Cancer, so some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, those are the Earth signs. You might be dealing with an Earth sign, but you don't have to be. If you are dealing with an Earth sign, Aries, this Earth sign is done with you. They're done with you and your bullshit or whatever's going on between you. They're done. Because this King of Pentacles, for me in this moment, is very much on the move. I feel this person is tucking whatever they have to take with them in that box, in that treasure chest, and they're out the door. Whether that's out the door in the home situation, whether that's out the door at the work, in your work life, whether that's out the door in some type of spiritual connection for some of you. You might feel spiritually connected with this person, but they've just had it and they're out. Because the kings, all kings, they suffer no fools. They get to the top of the court cards and they sit on their throne, pride of place, because they've earned it. So this person might be prideful, might feel entitled to certain things, or they have maybe an entitled sense about them. But also hear that whatever has transpired between the two of you, and they're walking off or you're walking off, whoever's walking off, it feels like this is what I have to do in order to protect myself. This is what I have to do. Again, pointing out to the chest, or the chest that he's carrying. This is what I have to do to protect my assets, my belongings, my possessions, you know, anything, right? This is very resolute. I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. So that's if you're dealing with someone else. In some of your cases, everything that I just described is going to apply to you. You're out the door, you're taking your possessions, you're taking the things that you value, and you're getting yourself to a better state. Or, a better state, like maybe literally some of you are leaving a state or leaving your country. If it's not about dealings between two people, this feels like having a mind, like that old Snoop Dogg lyric, got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. So if it's not about leaving a situation with another person or a relationship of any type with another person, it feels as though at the core of your moves, because again, I do feel that this King of Pentacles is moving. I feel that this person is en route to a place, or, you know, moving about their physical surroundings throughout their day with a little bit more pep in the step, a little bit more focus, a little bit more, you know, drive and tenacity. It feels like you're making big moves in your finances and your career. Yeah. It feels as though for the long run, you're trying to reroute, or not reroute, but you're trying to restructure your life. You're trying to get new routines under your belt. If this is about, because Pentacles isn't just money and finances and things that physical possessions. It can also be your physical body. So some of you, this is getting into a new health and diet routine. If you've been wanting to bulk up, if you've been wanting to drop lbs, that's your goal. You put in the work to do it. Again, the king does not move without purpose, because they get to a pride of place. They work their way up the ladder, whether that be the corporate ladder, whether that be a spiritual ladder, whether that be I work my way up to getting us into a solid state in our relationship, but now that is over and I'm transitioning into something else. Kings don't move unless they have to. So this action that is being taken, whether it be by you or someone else, Aries, is very poignant and it's very on purpose. Now, I'm not saying any detrimental behavior is on purpose. If someone's being an asshole, that's not what I'm talking about. It's the energy of protecting the self, protecting the finances, protecting the assets and the career, ensuring that my physical body performs in the way that I want it to. So I have to start going to the gym and doing cardio. My dietary track is going through it, so I gotta cut the sugar and get back onto more fiber or more fruits and vegetables in my diet. Whatever you're doing, or whoever this is, it's on purpose. There is a goal that is being moved towards. There is a goal in mind that is the motivator. The kings do not move without reason. Okay, so quite a plethora of storylines there for you guys. Regardless, I feel your energy, Aries, is prepared for this, whether you're actually the person taking action or someone is taking action, against you, or not in a way that you necessarily appreciate. But it feels as though, for the most part, Aries, this is not a shock to you. This is not new information I'm telling you. This behavior, whether it's coming from you or someone else, has kind of been premeditated. It's been announced. I will be exiting the company on the 15th. I will be moving out of the house come the 30th. I will be, starting up my gym membership on Monday. I plan to go 4 days a week, Like, this has been confirmed, announced, understood by all parties involved. Okay? Nobody is surprised. Now, what happens after that, or what's going on besides that, is This is interesting, and I don't think I did it, but I've done it twice in the previous 2 readings, but I don't know why. This is just for me. I'm not even going to announce that. But I will announce it because you're going to be like, well, what is it? What is it? So normally when I do my readings, I don't read linearly, as many of you know if you've been with me for a while. I don't read past, present, future, not intentionally at least. And normally when I start in a card, I usually go to a neighboring card, right? A direct neighbor in a straight line, either has horizontal or vertical, right? I rarely go diagonal, and I'm about to go diagonal. I did it for Pisces reading. I didn't do it with the second card in Cancer. I think I did it from the second card to the third card in their reading. So that's 3 readings in a row where I've gone diagonal. And I have mentioned Cancer a few. And now I got caught up in my throat. And that was a part of Cancer's reading. In Cancer's reading, I had a little... Oh, no, that was Pisces. My bad. But in both of them, I had issues with my throat, yeah? Or something was going on and I felt... Anyway. What was I saying? Damn it. See, got knocked out of my head. Anyway, if you are dealing with either a Cancer or Pisces, you might want to check out their reading. Because there's something about... Oh, that's what I was going to say. In Cancer's reading... No, it was Pisces. So that's... Okay. Maybe you're caught up between 2 of them. And Aries and Pisces, maybe some of you are cuspers. So maybe some of you are Aries, Pisces cusp person, and that might have something to do here. But in their reading, what I said was outside the box, outside of the comfort zone, outside of what is basically normal or routine, right? So me going from the King of Pentacles to go down here to the King of Wands is to show you things are different. The pathway, the route that you take, the ways that you normally would go about your response to this situation might be a little different. That's the long way to say that. Jesus, I'm sorry. Anyway, so your next position is the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In some of your cases, this is you. And that King of Pentacles is another person. Or you're the King of Pentacles and they're the King of Wands. Or you both share the energies between the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. It's all energy, guys. It's all going to be different for all of you. If you want something more detailed, you'd have to get a personal. So, very similar. Because this, I wish you could see it. Like, sometimes, like, not in a crazy way, but they show me, like a GIF of these characters. And, you know, with GIFs, like, the action repeats over and over again. It's like a small 2-second bit of motion. So I'm seeing the King of Pentacles walk through that overgrowth, walk through that high grass or whatever he's in, right? And what I'm seeing is this King of Wands walks up to where he's standing and then raises his arm and points. So both kings are moving, but this one moves from side to side. This King of Wands moves from the background to the forefront. So that is significant. The reason I'm pointing that out to you, what I'm seeing is that's significant. Someone is sidestepping, maybe not sidestepping, but someone is like exiting stage left, right? King of Pentacles person. And then the King of Wands steps forward, meaning steps up, moves from the background to the foreground, moves from maybe being on the back burner to the front burner. This is, again, pride of place in both situations with these 2 kings. Now, I'm going to go into that in a second. But this is a self-recognition of, this is the recognition of someone's own power. God, I can't even talk. This is someone recognizing their own power, their own importance. Yeah, this is someone waking up, maybe not waking up to, but being reminded of, I would say. Being reminded of, I'm the boss here. Or, I have my own life to take care of. Or, I have things that I need to focus on or that I need to prioritize. So, as much as there might be a little bit of a sting or a little bit of a disappointment in the King of Pentacles exiting stage left, doing whatever they're doing, and they're right to do it. Both kings are right to do it. But this is also sort of reactionary, like, oh, well, now that they're gone, or they're about to leave, or, you know, this dynamic between us is changing, that means I have to do something. And the reaction of the King of Wands is to become inspired. You know, the King of Pentacles is caring about money, finances, possession, security, things like that. Taking care of the practical 3D elements, right? that are all around us, things that you see, touch, taste, and hear, and all that good stuff, right? This King of Wands is doing something similar, but it's coming from a more spiritual place. So what I'm feeling is someone takes a step from the background to the foreground, steps up into their acknowledgement of whatever is going on with them, again, spiritually. Now, when I use the word spiritually, which I used in Cancer's reading a good bit, I'm talking about not, you have to suddenly become a Buddhist, or you're suddenly Wiccan, or you're suddenly a devout Christian, or anything like that. I'm not talking about, a prescriptive way or an outlined, by the book type way of performing. Spirituality is it's one of those huge umbrella terms that can incorporate traditional religious teachings or totally a hodgepodge of ideas, which is kind of how I view myself as a spiritualist. I take a little bit from here, take a little bit from here, take a little bit from here, and I make like this freaking, like it's almost like a melting pot of spiritual and religious ideas. And even then, I don't borrow too much from religion. But that's what I feel that this King of Wands is doing. So you might be getting into certain things that you've never done. You might be studying religious texts or spiritual understandings. Some of you might be just simply getting into or going back to prayer or meditation. Maybe some of you are for the first time exploring yoga, exploring what the hell it means to even practice yoga. Like, you kind of know what it is, but you live in the middle of nowhere, no offense to anybody, and there has never been a yoga studio in your town until this year, 2019. So you're like, I guess I'm going to go down and start trying yoga because I have no idea what it's all about. This is someone who wants to go out and understand themselves, or maybe not understand themselves, learn a new aspect of themselves, get to a deeper understanding of themselves, or just experience something that they've never experienced before. Because again, what I'm seeing is this person steps forward. Like I said, was walking from the background of this card up towards the foreground, and then points to the sky and says, that's where I want to go. I want to go over there. So this is someone who's open to new opportunities. It doesn't have to be even spiritual. It doesn't have to be like so on the nose. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to Saturday Mass, and your family, your friends look at you like you've got 3 heads. But we're Muslim and they're like, I'm going to Mass, bye. It doesn't have to be that. It can be something as simple of, I've never traveled abroad. I want to travel abroad. So you go, you get your passport, or you get your new ID here in many states here in the United States, and you go and you book a trip to Sydney, you book a trip to Japan, you book a trip to Germany, you go wherever, right? It's like, I want to understand myself in new circumstances, in new arenas, in new social settings. I don't want to live the same type of life that I used to live. Maybe it was a very predictable, maybe it was a boring life that you led with the King of Pentacles, whatever your relationship was. Maybe you felt held back. Maybe they had their hands on all the finances and now you're in charge of your own finances, and maybe you have never taken a vacation, and now that you and them are no longer financially tied, you're going to spend money on yourself in the way that you've always wanted to spend money on yourself, Aries, or whoever I'm talking to, because I feel you're all going to be on different lanes here. You're not all going to be the King of Pentacles. You're not all going to be the King of Wands, right? You're all going to be, mixed together, basically. The other aspect that I wanted to point out here was that this is 2 kings. Now, that has nothing to do with gender, right? In a general reading like this, there's no gender assigned to anybody unless it absolutely comes through and they, punch that idea into my head. This could be 2 men. This could be 2 women. This could be a man and a woman. It does not matter. But the aspect of them both being kings, and I kept saying this idea of pride of place. You both are very accomplished people. Whether you were romantically tied together, whether you are friends, whether you are family members, it does not matter. You both have exceptional power, exceptional gravity or gravitas, I should say, gravitas to you. You're both probably super strong personalities, or you're both accomplished in some type of way. So in terms of finances, I feel both of you have enough to keep yourselves afloat. I don't, and it doesn't mean you're both like super rich. If you both work retail jobs, but you can pay your bills on time, then great. You're both kings in that socioeconomical level, right? This idea of you two being kings gives me this idea that as much as you may have worked well together, you also fought well together. You were not always seeing eye to eye because the kings are rigid. They're not flexible energies. Whether you, number one, Aries, you're not a fixed sign, so it has nothing to do with your zodiac. So take that out of it. It's about being rigid. It's about being focused. It's about being in charge. So you both, for lack of a better phrasing, tried to wear the pants in this relationship at some point or another. Neither one of you was really a fan of rolling over for the other. Okay? So because we have two people leading a relationship, romantic or not, that eventually is going to wear you both down. Now, that might sound like I'm being really traditional and basically saying somebody has to be docile or somebody has to be feminine and somebody has to, curtsy and defer to the other person. No, I feel that you both, at least right now, are not interested in compromise. Neither one of you wants to be the one to take a back seat. So that this energy may have developed over time is basically what I'm saying. I think that maybe either one of you did defer, did try to please, did try to, compromise over and over and over again. And eventually that got tiresome. And somebody said, you know what, screw that. I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to articulate what I need. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to be the one to roll over first, and then that increases this king energy. So what I'm seeing is two people who are accomplished in their own rights, very strong in their own rights, and ultimately can no longer get along. So you have to walk away from each other. Lover's card right in the middle of that in reverse. Major Arcana for Gemini, so some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, but you don't have to be. And I mean, in reverse, in a romantic sense, between these two characters, it's a straight up breakup. In other cases, it's just a break. It's not a full break. But in some of your cases, it's an absolute breakup. A divorce even, if you were married. But beside it being a romantic tie between the two of you, I feel that this Lovers is representing some type of irreconcilable energy between you. Because again, I think over time you have both developed these very strong, rigid personalities or these strong, rigid reactions to one another. Because one or both of you felt put out in the situation. One or the both of you finally got tired of being the yes man. Got tired of being the yes woman, got tired of being the one to suggest how we can settle a problem. How can we negotiate this, deal if this is a business situation, right? How are we going to spend the money if we're business partners? What do we want to invest in next? What do we want to throw money towards developing here at the company? And somebody says, well, we should work on, increasing personnel and work on training efforts. And somebody else just like, no, we should really work on, increasing our software or enhancing our software, enhancing our tech, and really work on, the acoustics, the aesthetics of the building. So you had two different people who had two different priorities and neither one was willing to budge. So one of you has to leave, or one of you decided to leave. You don't have to leave, but one of you decided to leave. I don't feel this is like bad terms necessarily, but I definitely understand, like, energetically, you both realize we're at a stalemate here. Nobody here is going to back down. I'm not backing down. They're not backing down. So let's, call it a day. Let's divest from each other, from the business, from the connection as easily, not as easily, but as amicably as possible, because I'm not going to give over and they're not going to give over. There's like two dogs, one bone, and I don't know if you guys hang out with dogs, and I don't really either, but when two dogs like are going at like a chew toy together, like that rope chew toy, like they will not stop. Many dogs, they're just like, they're on it for a long time. So the Lovers also can indicate that someone wasn't necessarily always respectful to the connection. I'll say that. In a romantic sense, I'm not going to say cheating because I don't think it was necessarily cheating. In some of your cases, if you know that was the deal, then you know. But what I feel is like when someone's heart is no longer in it, it increases or it allows for more disrespect towards the situation. Again, romantic relationship or not, this could be friends. This could be roommates, okay? And if you no longer respect your roommate, maybe they have, you know, certain things that they're kind of OCD about in the house. Like, okay, well, when we do, can we make sure that we don't wear shoes in the house, right? And then maybe you're doing that for several months or years living with this person, and then they just, you know, you respect the no shoes in the house, but then they don't respect, you know, that the toilet paper needs to be overhand and not underhand, right? Something like that. So you're not wearing shoes in the house, but they keep putting the toilet paper in the underhand, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm wearing shoes in the house. You see what I mean? So if you feel put upon, if you feel imposed upon and not respected by the other person, and I keep saying you because I don't know where you are, Aries, so I'm not trying to pin you down anywhere. So hopefully you're staying on top of the storyline here. So this is basically, well, you don't respect me, so I'm not going to respect you. Or you don't value this, so I'm not going to show, you know, credence or give respect towards that. Kind of tit for tat, maybe petty, but it ultimately is feeling like someone feels you started this. You brought the bar down with the way you treated me, or showed respect towards the things that I value. So because that respect on your end dropped, I also dropped my respect. And now we both look like, you know, we both to a certain degree look kind of petty. Yeah? So that's what that Lovers in reverse is telling me. Is like there was a decrease, a lowering of the mutual respect. We'll say that. There was a change in the mutual respect. Sorry. Your final card in your main spread is the Seven of Cups in reverse, Aries. So, actually, that's good, actually, I think. Because I think, you know, Seven of Cups, when it's in the upright, Aries, is kind of like chaotic or confusing, or there's like an abundance of choice, or like too many choices, or there's too much to think about, too much to feel, right? Too much to process. Here, there's like a release of that. I feel both parties are no longer worried about what the other one thinks or feels, for good or for bad. As harsh as that might sound, as dismissive as that might sound, I think that actually works for both of you, even if it's not necessarily the best or the most easy to deal with, right? I think this is, again, very related to what I was just saying about the Lovers in reverse. This is not deferring to a certain reaction or behavior because you're used to trying to please or respect the other person. Now that that's not really a priority, now that that's not really expected of you, or, you know, you simply don't do it for the sake of giving them a big F you, right? Now that that pressure is off, I feel that because you both share these energies, that's I think the significance of you coming in this diagonal position is that you both share the Lovers and you both share the Seven of Cups. I feel that you mutually feel freer. You both mutually feel less burdened by the emotional impact or the emotional, like they're showing me like strings on a piano. So like string pulling, I guess is what they want me to say. String pulling that happens to your heart, because there is a heart there, right? So what used to pull at your heartstrings, Aries, you or them, or both of you, what used to tug at your heartstrings, like, oh, I feel bad for them. Oh, they're probably going through a lot right now, so let me not bug them. Or now, oh, I know they're under a lot of stress, so I'm not going to insist upon this. I'm just going to agree to what they agree to because I know they're under a lot of pressure. All that's out the window. They want something done a certain way, or they ask you for a favor, and you're just like, I'll think about it. Whereas before, your natural inclination could have been, oh yeah, I'll get right to it. Or sure, okay, give me like 30 minutes and then I'm there, right? Whereas that was what you used to do. Now it's kind of like, look at your watch, pull up your phone, check your calendar. Give me one second. Yeah, I think I can. I think, it's like, whereas before it was yes, I will, sure. Now it's like, if it fits my schedule, I'll do it. Something like that. I feel that's good and bad because I don't, in general, I don't sense a lot of sour energy between you and this person, Aries, but it could go that way if you both continue to kind of revel in it. Is that how I want to say it? Revel in it? There's something here where there's a potential for someone to get a little cocky, either you or the both of you, you or them or the both of you. There's a potential for people to kind of, like I said, this lack of respect for what the other person values can quickly descend into, I don't respect you. Not only do I not care about your rules about no shoes in the house, or you and your toilet paper over or under, whatever. It now becomes, I don't care what you think. That's what if you value this person, if you want to remain friends with them, if you want to be amicable with them, you might want to toe that line a little bit because it can quickly warp into, well, I don't care what you say anyway. And that becomes like incredibly disrespectful and dismissive. Yeah. So these two energies, the Lovers in reverse and the Seven of Cups in reverse, would support that, because Seven of Cups is, I'm not worried about anything emotionally. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not like, sitting here biting my nails. Oh, what should I say? What should I choose? What should I do? It's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Screw the consequences. That can also be there in the Lovers card. Also, Lovers, I did mention ruled by Gemini. Gemini being with Mercury, right? They're ruled by Mercury. Mercury's in retrograde right now, so watch your mouth. That's not a warning. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but Mercury is still in retrograde for another 2 weeks because of the shadow period and all that stuff, so 2 to 3 weeks. If you are knowing you have a sharp tongue, whoever's watching this, and you value this person and you do want to remain friends with them, you do want to remain, on good terms, watch what you say. You can say what you want, but watch what you say. Because you got to think of the long-term ramifications, right? Just a thought. Outcome, Aries. 4 of Wands. So, you or them or the both of you are going to be fine. As solo figures in your own little fruit or flower stand, everybody's going to be fine. And that's interesting because the 4 of Wands in many other depictions will show more than one person, right? But what do we see here? We see absolutely one person in a 4-poster tent, right? So I feel the self-sufficiency on both of your ends, if I'm honest, is there. You don't need to depend on them. They don't need to depend on you. The interwoven element that was once there is kind of easily dissolved, is kind of easily untangled for the most part. Yeah? It might get a little lonely, because I do get that sometimes. Like, if you imagine, and people do this stuff all the time, if you imagine this woman, like, being a business owner, like, that is her actual fruit or flower stand, and she works that booth alone all day for, like, 9-10 hours a day, when do you go to the bathroom? When do you have lunch? When do you take a smoke break if that's what you're into? It's this idea of you can do it by yourself. There is this feeling of self-sufficiency, and that's a-okay, but that can be lonely because you don't have anyone to share the burden with. You don't have anyone to kind of carry half the load with. Everything rides on your shoulders. the responsibility in terms of Four of Wands. This can talk about a home. So some of you with the roommate, the partner, the cousin, whoever is leaving or you're leaving, you both now have to carry the financial or responsibility of a home or an apartment by yourselves. They move on to new territory, you stay there, or vice versa. All right, well, I'm used to splitting the bills in half. Now it's just me paying all these bills. Now it's just me paying for the mortgage. Now it's just me paying down the credit card, which actually works because I don't spend as much money as he did, but, you know, something like that. So it can be done. I don't think that this is an energy that indicates any type of struggle. Any type of struggle or strife here is about communication and emotions. In terms of creative energies, in terms of financial security, everybody's cool. The communications and the emotions are what is kind of teeter-tottery here. It's kind of like, oh, we don't know if it's going to be, you know, pretty in the morning, you know, something like that. Financial security, being able to stand on your own 2 feet, both of you are fine. This is your reading, Aries, so I'm going to round back and start to talk about you exclusively. You will be fine. And yeah, this reading has been very entangled between you and another person. The outcome, they share it too, but I do want to point out, yes, Aries, you're going to be okay. If you're worried about yourself, don't be. You're an Aries, for God's sake. Where's that confidence? Where's that pioneering fire? I can do anything. I can conquer the world because I'm the first one out the gate. Okay? Yeah, I got a head start on all you guys. Something like that. Did that get loud for some reason, or is that just the song? Anyway, your overall energy, Aries, is the Page of Swords. So, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You don't have to be dealing with an air sign, but you might be. Overall, I think that this is... I think this speaks to both what you have decided and what you will decide in the future. Meaning, this whole dissolvement of whatever type of relationship that we're talking about here, I think came about pretty quickly. Maybe it came about kind of immaturely. Like, if I'm honest, if this was like a breakup, like, doesn't have to be the way, but they're giving me vibes of someone texts another person. I think we're done. Text a breakup. It's 2019, people. That's just, it's just because our freaking phones and our smartphones are so much cooler and they can do so many cool things, it's still not cool to break up with someone via text. But somebody did something like that. Like, despite the potential to be a little bit more mature with how we initiate the dissolvement of a relationship, someone just did it. All right, Aries, I apologize about that. So, yeah, somebody just had like a really poo-poo way of breaking up, excuse me, or telling someone they don't want to be in business with them anymore. And I think I mentioned that at some reading. Maybe it wasn't yours. I do so many of these, so I can't even be trusted with my own memory. But that's not cool. I don't feel it's the worst thing because, you know, at least as we see here in the picture, you know, this guy is sitting down and like composing a letter. So it does show some type of forethought. It does show, for me in the moment, this page shows a little bit of consideration, but ultimately the manner in which the message was delivered was just not the best. You know, we could have at least met face to face. You could have at least bought me a coffee or like a little, you know, a little cake at Starbucks before you broke up with me. You know, it's like that. What else with this page? Because that's what happened. I think that kind of maybe either set the tone or set this whole descent into motion, was that message that came across immaturely, right? But what else has happened here? And in some of your cases, the immature communication continues, and that again intensifies the lack of respect towards what another person values and what another person believes and what another person is trying to do, to just totally disrespecting and not caring about them, right? This type of communication, this type of you know, the page can be very full of themselves sometimes, or think too highly of themselves. Like, I'm so smart, I know the best this, I know the best that, I've studied this and I've studied that. And they can be kind of a braggart, right? This Page of Swords energy can be kind of full of themselves, okay? If that is in your situation at all, it would not make it easy to keep this in a civil way, because this person becomes kind of a dick, and they become annoying, and they become frustrating, right? Now, anything else? Because I kind of, like, that's kind of, no, that actually makes sense. They're like, no, that makes sense. And it's like, okay, that's fair. Because the outcome is more about what's coming up. But I feel like the Page of Swords has an implication towards the future as well, even though it's an overall energy. If it is, oh, I'm not sensing that hardcore, but maybe that's why I'm stuck on the up in the future. Maybe this Page of Swords, because pages can talk to children. Maybe some of you are pregnant and you're leaving a relationship after you have become pregnant. And that's kind of weird. Not weird, I'm sorry, it's not weird. That can be quite a curveball. And I, obviously, if you know me, guys, I don't have kids, and I normally don't resonate with children, but they keep coming up in my life, so I'm like, oh, I guess I need to start resonating with children. Now, but I know that this is an experience. You can be in a marriage, or you can be in some type of committed relationship, or even a casual relationship, and things start to fizzle out or peter out between you and the partner, but then, boom, somebody's got a bun in the oven, you know? That can be quite a curveball, because what do? I'm pregnant, so I'm going to stay in this relationship. Some of you, that doesn't make sense. And or to the other person, I might be pregnant with your baby, Aries, but I'm not staying with you because of that. And we're going to have to start this co-parenting thing from separate homes as soon as the baby is born. It's something like that. So that's why I was so stuck on, well, what about the future with this page? Like, I felt more about the page has implications in the future. So maybe some of you are going to have a child with the person that you're now separating from. Okay? Aries, that is your reading for mid-November. If you liked it, the like button is down below. You can hit that for me and let me know that you had a good time here. You can also leave a comment down below. Let me know how this resonated in your life. If you choose to share that information, that'd be cool. If you want to keep it to yourself, that's absolutely cool too. It's a free country. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload to the channel. And you'll be updated on when I go live and all that good stuff. And you also feel free to share the video if you want other people to know about what I do here on YouTube, or that this specific message is so on point and you got to tell all your 15 best friends. Do that. That would be great. Aries, like I just said, I will be back doing the live here on November 25th, so you have that to look forward to. Please show up if you can make it. I also will be doing your December readings in about 2 to 3 weeks. Why did I say 2 to 3? 2 to 2.5 weeks. I'll put those up. Do your mids also in December. And I will be bringing back the no communications reads. Those seem to go over pretty well for the collective. So I'll put those out also in, not in November, in December. So you have a lot of stuff to look forward to coming from the channel, Aries. I hope to see you there for every single video. No, I'm kidding. I know you probably will only watch yours and maybe 1 or 2 people that you cross-watch for. I'm not a fool. Anyway, thank you, Aries, so much for watching the video tonight. I really do appreciate it. Take care.